NetEase came out in Season 5 and said, you know what? We're gonna buff the hell out of the tanks and we're gonna give some of the support some love as well. DPS? Some of them got buffs that are so scrumptious and delicious that we can now proclaim them as busted. I'm not gonna keep you waiting. It's Magneto, duh. It's Captain America, it's Peni Parker, it's Invisible Woman, and Wolverine. Now, if that's all you wanted out of this video, scram! Get the hell out of here! Shoo! But if you want to hear this idiot in a Deadpool mask talk about them, well, you're at the right place, Peanut. If you're new to the channel, what a loser. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nerfpool. I am a Deadpool variant from Earth 69. I make videos about games and stuff, and this one's not going to be heavily edited. It's one of my yap sessions. So sit back, put me on a second screen, or slide me into your back pocket and enjoy the show. Now, Wolverine. Mutton Chops himself. If you're playing tank in Season 5 of Marvel Rivals and not respecting Wolverine, are you okay? Like, do we need to talk about something? Are you okay in the head? Do you just want to die and feel pain? Because same here. Now I know there's some percentages that I'm gonna put somewhere here in a beautiful yellow box. Ooh, copyright infringement is so fun. All of this stuff, it reads like slightly more damage and he can dive at people a lot faster. Who cares? I care! I'm a tank main! Oh, I care a lot. It goes without saying that Season 5 is Tankland. You got Magneto with 2 bubbles. You got Cap that's printing ult charges. You got Groot who's invincible within his wall. You have Thing who is blue. It's slowly becoming to be a bit of a tank meta, which is fine by me. But in this meta, Wolverine is not just a DPS with some buffs. He's a balance patch with claws. Now here's the scary part. You plug him in with his best enabler Phoenix and things get scary. The team up gives him lifesteal based on damage. In a patch where his damage into tanks just went up. What the fuck, Guang Guang? So what can you do with this information? Well, if you're a DPS player and you don't play Wolverine, why are you like this? Please learn him at least for situational situations. Don't jump in and mash and try to land a fucking leap every time. Figure him out. He's not super complicated, but he takes one thing that most Marvel Rivals players don't seem to have. Patience. Next, let's talk about Invisible Woman, and then we're gonna go straight into tank territory. Now, Invisible Woman went from somewhat killable healer, a little bit tricky, to a walking design mistake. The change they did to her looks pretty simple and not significant, but it's pretty huge because it deletes her only real weakness. Invisible Woman was already one of the best supports in the game. Her problem was never healing output. She healed everyone else like a champ, but keeping herself alive always felt a little awkward and clunky. So the new Invisible Woman change where she can cast the shield on herself deletes that weakness entirely. And that shield is amazing for 2 reasons. Number 1, it heals her, duh. But number 2, it's an actual shield. It's effectively extra HP on demand. And if that was not enough, then NetEase didn't stop there. Her primary now travels faster and then hits harder, which matters a lot exactly in the moments where she's forced to turn and fight. Now I want to stir the pot a little bit with a question for you guys. With these buffs that just came out, who's a better support now? Luna or Invis? Is the queen dethroned? Invisible Woman also got a buff on her push-pull, so it pushes divers way more away and it can actually yank a tank. Yank a tank! Hey, put it on a shirt. Yank a tank, guys. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the show. Let's yank a tank. Here we go. Magneto, yoink. So right now, Invisible Woman has higher self-survival, better team peel and setup. She still has solid damage and a kit that stays online more because she simply dies less. I don't know, man. She's starting to sound like a pretty good support to me. She might have D-ranked the favorite. There was a time when Peni Parker was kind of easy to deal with. You just take an off angle and, pop the nests and then it's all good. I never found her to be that much of an issue. Well, If you still think Peni is like that, you have not played against her in Season 5. Now, previously, if Peni was in her own cyber web, she got 15 HP per second, so really nice healing, 25% move speed, and up to 25 bonus HP from overheal. So NetEase said, that's selfish Peni, bad Peni, good for you, but it's kind of irrelevant for everyone else. Now that entire package applies to everyone in the web, so on first fights and chokeholds, you're no longer just walking into mines, you're walking into faster enemies, harder to kill enemies, and they're all stacked on the exact geometry that Peni already wanted to control anyway. Here's an interesting take that I just thought of, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. It lines up with a really curious Season 5 pattern. It seems to me that they're quietly blurring the roles and forcing DPS and tanks to accidentally act as team players. NetEase must know that one of the big problems that's slowly taking life away from this game is the selfishness of a lot of players. So many players treat the game as deathmatch. They're not really working for each other and supporting each other, at least in the lower ranks. It feels to me that NetEase is giving everybody these healing tools and support tools to just force us to play with each other and, remember that this is a team game. And Peni fits that perfectly. So now you get forced team play out of people who normally sprint off to feed. In my opinion, it's a huge buff. So my nerf prediction is that they're either going to reduce the team bonus values while Peni keeps the full thing. That's probably the most likely one, or they're going to take away the rocket team up. Next is my favorite character in the entire game, and my main in the entire game, who I have over 100 hours on, and that's Captain America. Let me show you why the cute little buff to his ultimate actually breaks the way the game works entirely, and I mean that. On paper, the change looks harmless. While Cap is ulting, his trail now also gives his allies bonus health and 30% faster ult charge. That reads like quality of life, but in practice, it's an ult printer strapped to a tank. Let's talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about, and that's the neutral game in Marvel Rivals, and I'm gonna borrow a fighting game terminology. The neutral in Marvel Rivals is practically non-existent. And by neutral, I mean the stuff that happens between ults. It's very rare that an entire team fight or an entire game is primarily led by the skill of one team in the neutral versus the skill of another team in the neutral. It can happen, but Marvel Rivals is not designed to be like that. It's an ult tempo-driven game. So games at any decent level are decided by 3 questions. Who gets the first support ult? Who chains their ults properly? And who gets their ults back in time for the next fight. Now, in some clown fiesta trash, the matchmaking had a brain fart games, sure. People are gonna stagger so hard that you can fart your ult at spawn and still win. But once people stop feeding for free, then ult advantage is everything that matters. In that world, even a 1 or 2% ult gain matters a lot. Captain America doesn't give you 1 or 2. He gives you 30, and he gives it to everyone in his ult. Now, here's the scary part, and why this is so busted, it can actually break certain games, especially at the high competitive level. Drop this into a triple support, high ult value comp. You have Captain America, you have Gambit, of course, you have Luna, and you have Invisible Woman. Holy shit, let me make it worse. Swap in Loki, so you have Cap, Loki, Invis, Luna. What the fuck? Now you're looking at Loki can copy whatever the fuck he wants, Cap can hypercharge the support ults, and then it's just gonna be support ult after support ult after support ult. Basically, you find yourself in a position when there are very few natural windows where their ults are not available. So the game turns into walk into a meat grinder, gain some ground, and fuck, support ult, and then you die. And then you come back in and you feel naturally like, well, they can't have support ults anymore. Fuck, here's another one. This ult, they cannot keep it at 30%. It's impossible. The fact that it even got the 30% is insane. The good thing for Cap mains is that they won't delete it completely. This isn't some meme team up. This is part of his kit now. But man, even at 10 or 15%, this stays viable because he still bends ult timing around his team. At 30%, forget about it. And let's top it off with the best tank in the game, hands down. I'm gonna fight anybody that says anything different. Magneto. There are 2 kinds of tank in Season 5. One is the type that doesn't lock Magneto and wants to win on hard mode, And then there are the ones that lock Magneto, win lots of games, and have very big penises. Magneto was already S tier. Season 5 didn't revive him. This isn't a rework. NetEase turned him into the default answer to who do we trust with our entire front line and our wives. And here's the kicker. The buff that actually breaks him isn't even the one you feel first. Everyone talks about his team up with Gambit. It's great. The alt fire is awesome, but that's not the problem. The problem is what they did with his bubble. Old Magneto had one bubble on shared cooldown, so every fight you're playing the same sad little mini game. Do I bubble myself so I don't explode, or do I bubble someone else so I'm useful and hope that I don't explode? As a solo tank, that decision feels rigged. If you die first, the fight is already over. So you default to a self bubble, you default to stay alive, but your team loses a ton of value they should have had. Now, new Magneto gets 2 bubbles on separate cooldowns. One for you, one for an ally. No more Sophie's choice. And remember, Magneto's kit was never about fragging anyway. His value is macro. You bubble to enable or shut down aggression, you ult to hard counter big pushes and other ults, you shield to delete key angles and damage sources, and then it's just constant annoying presence in chokes. Season 5 did not reinvent that, it just lets him do all of it, all of the time, without sacrificing himself to do his job. So the fallout is huge. Dive heroes' lives get way harder, and if there's any Spidey or BP mains in the comments, they'll tell you, shit's hard now. Solo tank Magneto becomes an actually playable character instead of just scuffed and terrible. I've never felt more comfortable with solo tanking since they did this to Magneto. It's not even a problem anymore. If anything gets hit and nerfed, it's not gonna be the idea of 2 bubbles. Just like with Cap and the others, that's staying. The likely levers here are gonna be the bubble HP, which they already nerfed a little bit, but nobody feels it because you got 2. The cooldowns are most likely to get nerfed, and maybe some of the extra value tied to his team-ups is likely gonna go away. If you're a Magneto enjoyer, you're fuck. It's good to be a Magneto main right now. You're living in patch note heaven. The best part about Magneto is that you don't need top frag. You're just not gonna get it. You need to bubble correctly, you need to ult intelligently, and then you need to stand in the right places to make hell for divers and for their front lines. He was S tier before, but with this version, he's very likely the best tank in the game outright. All of these heroes that I talked about after debuffs are completely busted and have the potential to... I don't want to say it! Carry your games! We all know that carrying games is bullshit. It's just propaganda. But hey, if you want to watch me talk about the myth of carrying games, that video is going to be right at the end of this screen in a bit. And also, if you're completely frustrated when people don't switch to the really useful characters, well, I also made a yap session about that one too. It's going to be right next to it. So valuable, Nerf Pool. Those videos are going to be available in 3, 2, fuck you.